Welcome to your virtual walkthrough on your brand new Keystone Cougar. We're going to start the walk in the back and explain everything as we go around. We're going to start in the back. You are prepped for the camera. All the wiring is behind that little black plastic piece up back there. You just unscrew that, the wiring will go there, and the camera will go there too. Do have a receiver in the back. It's not meant for towing. These have a 300-pound capacity. Little opening on the exterior of it is for your cable, and you'll get your own set of keys. This one is a 751 key. So open it up. You have access to satellite cable. It's pre-wired for satellite on the roof. The other end of this coax is on the roof, so if you did get one installed, the satellite would get hooked to that, and then you'll hook it to satellite if you opted for a satellite. Coming around here, you got your spare tire. Bumper caps, these do come off. That's going to be where you want to store your sewer hose. This does not come with a sewer hose. That will be something you need to purchase separately. 50 amp short cord. This is yours. It does come with a unit. It'll be in your front storage compartment. This twists on, and then you can tighten this collar on too to keep it from getting unplugged. Side seals right here. Every once in a while you're going to want to inspect them. Make sure they're not dry or cracked or anything like that. Make sure they're still soft and pliable. Your maintenance for this is just basically using what's called a slide out seal conditioner. Just clean the seals off with some water or something. Spray the conditioner on, let it sit, wipe it off, rub it in there real good, get the back here, get both sides of the seals, and then just make sure your cables stay clean. Right down here, as labeled, will be your favorite part of the whole camping experience. Let's get your black, which is that one, and then your gray, which is that one. Your black is like your toilet water, and your gray is your sink and your shower water. They both drain out here. You pull those handles towards you to open them, push them away to close them. Make sure they're closed before you take your cap off. And then I recommend doing black tank first to let that get dumped, and then dump your gray, so your gray water will flush out your black tank hose. Coming up over here is your docking station. So that's going to have all your hose hookups and everything. And then another part related to your black tank. And we'll start with that. So you can prop that open like that. Right down there, it says tank flush. That's this right here. That's hooked to the black tank. There's a sprayer built into the tank. So when you hook a hose up to it, turn it on, spray out the black tank, flush everything out. I recommend doing that every time you dump, and I also recommend dumping every time you leave the campground. Don't wait till it's full. This one's your city. This is where you hook your hose up to, run everything off of city water. You also fill your fresh tank up this way. There's a little chart telling you where it's set to use. You can hook your hose up to this and then open these right here. So you can have this closed so it's not open all the time. You do have a sprayer here, hot and cold. It's quick disconnect. You have the hose for it. You will have to actually purchase the sprayer head yourself. Another solar plug. I believe this one has solar panels on it. Yep, right up over there, because your solar monitor, and not the monitor, but the controller is right in here. And this is prepped for an inverter. And an inverter changes battery power to 120, and a few outlets can run off that. You have your leveling system here. Your instructions to use it all right here. I like how they use the big stickers. Before, the whole sticker with the instructions used to be about this big. Kind of hard to read. But you would turn it on, and then just hit auto level. And it'll go through its procedure, get it level with a tongue jack, and that was already where it needed to be. Then it'll do the fronts, get it up and down, the rears, side to side. And then you're good to go. It also has a mode, which is really cool, auto hitch height. So if you start the leveling system right after you take it off your truck, so the ball is higher, the tongue is higher than your ball, start the leveling system then. When you hit auto hitch height, It's going to retract all your jacks and then return your tongue to that exact same height. So when you back your truck into it, it's already at the height it needs to be, which is nice. When you do level, it will retract the jack in order to lower the front if it has to. It will stay up. That's fine. These can support the weight after it being leveled. You do have another gray in here. Same procedure in there for that. The gray tank is this one is your galley tank, so just your kitchen sink. Up here you got a light switch, which does decorative LEDs on the front. Here you are here, pre-wired for the side cameras. You just plug into there. You take this cap off, 2 screws, pull this off, put the camera on. Then they'll sync to the monitor. If you buy the big kit, comes with a big screen. And then these don't activate with turn signals. They're marker lights. These aren't actually turn signals or anything like that. So they'll always be on. So you have a view of your left and your right and then your rear. So it kind of eliminates all your blind spots. Up here, battery. It's a Group 24 RV Marine grade battery. That just Group 24 refers to the size. It's a 12-volt battery. There's room to add a second one. You just hook them into parallel. And then you do have a battery disconnect here, which is nice. Has this little chart that tells you what it does here. Power on. So now the battery is connected. It's going to get charged. And then there's one that's power off. In between trips, if you're not going to use this, you have it stored at home or whatever. You have no way to plug it in. I recommend disconnecting that battery. Using that battery disconnect. Keep anything from accidentally using voltage on it. If you are able to plug your camper in at home, plug it in at home, leave that switch on. That way the battery receives a constant charge. It just beeped. So it just means success. Yep, it'll say auto level success. We missed it, but it's done. We'll leave it leveled for the rest of the walk, so it's not as shaky. Propane, you can unscrew these, fold them over like that. Get the other side. You can take this whole container off if need be too. Right now you have your regulator, so you can see it's pointing that way. It even says supply, and it's pointing to this tank. If you were to have both of them on, it's still only going to pull from this one first because that's what it's selected to. If this one were to get emptied, you were to use all the propane in it. This will automatically switch to this tank, provided this one be on as well. When it does switch, this does not rotate. It stays selected on the previous tank. That's why I always recommend to people just have one tank on, so when it switches, the propane turns off, goes away, and you know you're out of a propane in one tank, rather than it bleeding you dry of both tanks without you knowing. Some people think if you put it in the middle, it does both. That is untrue. It is one or the other. Tongue jack, raise and lower to get on and off your truck. Has a light on it. Get your chains when you hook up, cross them. This is a breakaway, so that gets hooked to this box right here, and there's a pin in it. So if you hook to the truck, and this will get hooked to the truck too, and the camper comes undone, it'll pull the pin and activate the brakes. Got a 7-way here that does the turn signals and marker lights and all that. If you do have a truck and you're towing this, you are required to have a brake control by law for any vehicle over, I believe it's 2,000 pounds. This definitely weighs over 2,000 pounds. We can actually tell you about how much it weighs right now. Well, okay, we can tell you exactly what it weighs right now. Unloaded vehicle weight, 6,710 pounds. Gross vehicle weight, that's the most the trailer can ever weigh. So that includes that weight plus your cargo and such. So you have a cargo carrying capacity of 1,529 pounds. And then keep your tire pressures at 80. Coming to the other side of the storage. Got a crank there. That's your backup for your tongue jack. You can open up this little cap here, get into there, manually open it, or manually use it, and then as well as the motors here, they should have a cap you can take off and manually operate those as well. Same as the back ones. The back ones are on top. Access to the bedroom from the outside, which is nice. These do have these regular steps you can upgrade to those steps, you'd have to get narrower ones because of your awning being in the way. My keys again. You have an outdoor shower. So the other side had a spray port with hot and cold. This is a shower with hot and cold. They call them showers. I don't think anyone's going to be showering in them. Not naked, at least. Give me one sec. Having trouble getting the key in there. There we go. Hot and cold with the sprayer. Outdoor power. It's GFCI protected. It's also inverted, prepped. So if you do install the inverter, the outlet can run off the batteries. Satellite and a cable. Satellite cable and antenna outputs. So you can have a TV on like a table outside if you wanted it. Exhaust for your furnace. Keep this clean. Insects like to make nests in there. Just anything you have, pick it out. Don't use compressed air. It'll kind of push it further in there. They do make screens you can put on these. And we do sell these here at Camping World. Vent for your range hood. So if you turn it on, make sure you come out here, pop it open. So it actually has somewhere to vent out. Overnight I like closing mine, and before I travel I do it too. Outdoor area here. You want to keep your main door open some. It's got a magnetic latch. You got a mini fridge. It's 120. You gotta be campers gotta be plugged in for it to work. But it does have temperature controls in there and a little freezer in there too. And it's also prepped with the inverter. So that means if you were dry camping in the middle of nowhere and you had enough battery power, and your solar's charging your batteries consistently, you can watch TV outside and drink a beer. Got a grill out here. Flip that up. You push this in and turn to light it. There's a grease trap in there. And then right over there, if you can see, is your hose. You have to hook that to this propane line right here. There's a valve on that. You turn that to open it. When the valve is open, it will not allow you to disconnect the propane line. That's just a safety feature. Steps are adjustable. You've got these pins on them. So you can see here, this kind of leg isn't touching, the other one isn't. Oh, the other one is. You can use these pins to adjust that. Just pull them, and then pull out on the legs. You want to watch how much you adjust them, just because sometimes this will sit too high on the door sill, or it'll sit too high there, and you can't close the door because it'll hit it. Water heater. Now this unit has been winterized. We winterize all the units this time of year, unless otherwise specified. So what you'll do when you're first ready to use this, you're gonna hook up water. I recommend doing this through your fresh tank because it's winterized through your pump. Fill up your fresh tank, maybe a third of the way, and then just run every fixture. Turn every fixture on. Let all the water come out. It'll be pink. Wait for everything to come perfectly clear. Every fixture, the outdoor shower, the toilet, everything. Wait for the water to become clear. Then you're gonna open up this panel. There's a valve back there you'll have to turn. There might be two. Just turn them in the opposite positions. And then you're good to go. This water heater is gas and electric. Here's your electric element. Your controls are in the inside. Just basic maintenance. Keep it clean in there. Blow it out with compressed air if you can. This is your anode rod. It's also your drain plug. So you can see there's a rod in the inside of this. Eventually this material is going to start falling apart and coming off. When you have about 25% remaining, go get you a new one. They're about 20 bucks. That's because this is a glass lined steel tank. So instead of the water attacking the steel of the tank, it'll attack the material in the anode rod. So you'll put that in there when you're ready to use it. Fill it up. Tighten it down. 1 1/16 is the socket size for that. Once you got it tightened down and it's out of bypass, it'll start filling. And once it's full, you can kick it on. You'll do that from your in command up in there. And then it'll be ready to go. I recommend draining every trip. That's very simple to do. Shut off your water source. So if you got a hose, turn off the hose. If the pump's on, turn off the pump. Open up the pressure relief. You just have to hold this one open. So you go like that, hold it open. It'll spew out a bunch of water, let it drain. Once all the water is drained from there, the pressure is relieved, then you can open up the plug there. If you neglect to drain the pressure here and you just go to here, it's going to turn this into a missile. It's going to launch it at you. If it's hot water, you're going to get hot water all over your crotch. You're going to be miserable, and you only do it once. Awning. Awning's adjustable. You have these arms here. Pull down to adjust pitch. Pitches it down. So if it's raining, you can have water kind of run off to the corner rather than all the way along the edge, or if the sun's kind of in a funny spot. The neat thing about this is if you had to hurriedly close this in the rainstorm, you do not have to come out here and push this up before you close it. It will self-correct. If it's really windy, heavy gust of winds, use your guys' best judgment. Close it. This is a big sail. The wind can rip this clean off and can do some serious damage to your camper. If you have to roll it in when it was raining, roll it back out as soon as you can, whether it be when it's sunny and dry, because you don't want it rolled up retaining moisture, because it'll stain and all that. We'll come up in here, cover your in command, which will be the majority of the inside. So you have your monitors for your fresh, your black, your gray. It'll fill in with that shade of blue, 1/3, 2/3, and then full. Right now your passcode is all zeros. If you wish to change it, go into your settings, go to passcode, type in the current passcode, and then it'll ask what you want to do. If you do change the passcode and ever have to take this for service work, please let somebody know. We don't have there's no master code to get in or anything like that. You go to settings, Bluetooth. You can pair your phone to this. You download the In Command app on your phone, pair it to this. It'll say syncing floor plan. It's learning the floor plan of this trailer. And then you can do everything off of your phone, including all your HVAC stuff. So you are pre-wired for an AC. You do not have one. So you go to rear AC. You can do fan low, high, cool. So then auto, low, high, so you have auto, low, and high. I recommend auto. It's going to allow the compressor to cycle on and off. So right now it's telling me the zone is 52 degrees. It's set to 64, so it won't kick on because it's colder than what it's set to. Hit it one more time. Now you have on heat. Heat's on auto, high and low too. The heat will kick on because it's set higher than the zone is. One more you get is auto. Auto will know what HVAC appliance to run. So if you have it set to, say, 65, and during the day it's 90 degrees out, it'll know to run the AC. But let's say it gets a little chilly that night and it drops below your set temperature, it'll know to run the furnace. You can also schedule and start and stop times. The time on this is inaccurate. Every time you disconnect the battery, while the trailer's unplugged, it resets the time on it. Go to lights, so you can control your lights from your awning and your bedroom and your ceiling light. So your awning light is right up in there. And you can do your ceiling and bedroom lights. Slides and awnings, you can control your slide and your awning from here. Your awning doesn't stop automatically, so be careful when you're extending it to let go of the button when it's all the way extended. The worst that will happen is it'll start rolling in. But it'll roll, the tube is rolling the same direction, so it's just going to roll the fabric the wrong way around the tube. To fix that, you're going to hit retract to extend it. Keep holding retract until it extends and then starts retracting the right way around. It's a common mistake people do, especially if you're chit-chat with people while you're trying to close up your camper, if you're a parent and your kids are being a little rowdy. That's it. You have your controls for your water pump, water heater. So you have gas, and electric. So you can run both if you want. If you are running electric, please make sure you do have water in the water heater, or else you can burn out that heating element. Plenty of storage there. Down here is a carbon monoxide and propane gas alarm. So if there's a carbon monoxide leak or propane leak, it will audibly make an alarm. It is hardwired to the 12-volt system, so if you do lose battery power, or the battery starts getting low in voltage, that will audibly alarm. You'll hear it. but it's not going to be an alarm. It'll be like a chirp. So it'll be like chirp. It's pretty loud. Chirp. It's not a consistent chirp. It's every few seconds. Don't confuse that with an LP alarm. Odds are your batteries are dying. If it were an alarm, you know it. It'd be loud. It'd be annoying. It wouldn't stop until the propane or carbon monoxide went away. You got your bathroom, light switch in here, toilet. You got a pedal in it. So you got a foot pedal. When you just do this, it'll fill it with water. If you go all the way, it'll dump it. Please don't use any antibacterial soap in there, or because it'll eat up the bacteria and there'll be nothing to break down the waste. There's special pods and products you can use to dump in there. I recommend those. And then use RV marine toilet paper only. That's your shower in here. Latch. Make sure you latch this when you travel. It's your main GFCI, so if any of them trip, you're going to reset it here. Got an outlet there. Power recliners. This is how you recline, and then you have massage and heat, light, and then a USB port either. Got your TV. Make sure you do strap down when you travel. Radio is also a DVD player. It's not a Bluetooth, not a Blu-ray, but it's HD. What you'll do is you'll put a DVD in here. Set the TV to one of the HDMI channels. Radio is super simple to use. So here's your previous channel, next channel, fast forward, all that. Pause, play, stop, Bluetooth, modes, zone. So zone 1's inside, so I can turn that off. So it's just zone 2. It'll just be the outdoor speakers. Presets, 1 through 6, push to hold to save a preset. Anytime you do disconnect the battery, it will reset the radio. You'll lose your presets. Got a fireplace here. Controls down there. Set temperature level here. Timer. Color of the flame. Pretty nice. You should have a remote for that. That should be in one of your drawers in here. Yep, so you have your fireplace remote and your radio remote, your TV remote, and all your manuals are going to be in this bag here. Refrigerator, very simple to use. Power button, turns it on, push it on. There you go. Temperature, so that's telling me I'm adjusting the freezer or the fridge. Adjusting the freezer. Got like a little energy saver sleep timer. And that's to adjust the temperature. It's a 12-volt refrigerator, or it should be. Yep, 12-volt refrigerator, and when you turn it off, the light doesn't work. That means there's no propane on this. It's going to work just like a residential refrigerator does, except it works off of 12-volt, so you can use your refrigerator somewhere else. Definitely recommend if you know you're gonna go dry camping somewhere without 120, plug your camper in somewhere or at the night before. Get your refrigerator cold, because it won't kill the battery, maintaining the cold off of it. But if you try to get it from a dead stop to all the way cold just off of your battery, it's probably going to drain the battery pretty quickly. Microwave works like a residential microwave. Not plugged in, not going to work. Cooktop folds up and back. You do have lights on it. Turn the knobs, it's lighted. Twist the sparker, lights right up. Oven's a bit different. You're going to turn that to the little flame, push that in. As you're pushing and holding, you're going to twist the sparker. You're looking for a pilot in there to get lit. Once the pilot is lit, you can let go of pushing it in and then turn that to your desired temperature. Sink covers, they kind of double as a cutting board, this one does. I recommend using this side as your cutting board and then having this side facing up. Plenty of storage area, USB ports, another inverter prepped outlet. Light switch for in here is going to always be in the down position like this. That's because it's on a relay, because you can also control it from your touchpad. Emergency exit in here. Another door in there. Light switch is the same switching as the situation as the living room. Spot to mount a TV. Definitely recommend making sure that there is something there. Another prepped outlet. Another stuff for your TVs. Another outlet there, that's on its own GFI. And then you have another outlet there. USB ports on either side. Bed is on struts with storage underneath. And then your pump, your water pump is right here. Most people don't know, but it's underneath here. It's kind of a bit pain in the butt to get into, but your pump is right underneath there. This is where it's prepped for a second AC. That's where all the wiring is. If you are gonna come in somewhere, whether it's us or a different store, and say you have a second AC, let them know you also have an in-command system. Because you can choose to put a manual AC on that, which means it's not gonna have a thermostat, you just have the knobs on it, but it is pre-wired for a thermostat. You just have to purchase one extra part. It's a gateway, so it can be controlled off of your in-command. A few more things, got a fire extinguisher there. The fire extinguisher, the smoke alarm, which is, where is the smoke alarm? Right up there. And the LP alarm and the propane tanks all expire in 10 years, so in 10 years, get some new ones. Pre-wired for Winegard Wi-Fi extender. Table turns into a bed very simply. Fold this like it is now, and then you push straight down, fold it over like that to latch it. And then you just reorganize your cushions. Well, that concludes the virtual walkthrough on your 2022 Keystone Cougar. I hope you guys really enjoy this camper. I really like this layout on it, the bedroom in the front, big kitchen, kind of central to everything. So I hope you guys enjoy this too. And happy camping!